I'm shocked nobody has ever given you the opportunity to come on and be on the board and help fix their games. Like Ashes of Creation. I'm shocked. I'm like, hey, Asmon, can we come here, test the game? I want your brutal, honest opinion about what can make this game better at the stage it's at right now. Nobody's ever gave you the opportunity.
Well, I mean, like, number one, there's no way that Blizzard would offer anybody a six-figure salary. But number one, yeah. Number two, I do think that, like, yeah, you're definitely right that, like, it would be nice to help and work on a game, but, like, honestly, I'll do it for free. I just want to play a fun game. Like, that's all there is to me for it. Like, I'm not worried about, like, getting paid or making money off of this particularly. Like, I just want to play a fun game, and, you know, I'll always give my insight into, like, what I think that, you know, a developer should do. And I think that a lot of developers do listen, you know, and, like, you'll see a lot of changes that get made in a game because of, like, community feedback, whether it's me or somebody else or anybody else. I think it's very common, actually, which is a good thing. You're seeing more games that actually, like, are actively listening to communities. And, you know, like, with Ashes of Creation, like, I don't really like telling them, like, the developer has, like, their own vision for, like, what they want the product or the content to be. And I think that they should adhere to that vision, but I also think that in order to adhere to that vision, they have to fully understand sometimes what the consequences of that vision can be. And so, like, there are negative versions or negative, like, aspects of, like, certain types of content.
I'm at home.
And I wish that more people was able to kind of see those negative aspects as well.
Yeah.
And that's why some of the videos that I do,
yeah,
it's not like, oh, the developers have to do this, but it's like, if the developers don't do this, this is how it's going to affect the game. This is what's going to happen.
What up, chat?
What do you think
we going to the lake today, boys?
Do you get that insight from, or that perspective from? Do you think you get that from just playing so many games? Because, you know, you're playing, I mean, you played Helldivers, you played Dragon's Dogma 1, you're getting ready for number 2.
That's
like, where do you feel like you get that edge, as you call it? Like,
I think that one part of it is that I just listen to what people tell me. I listen to what people say. And, like, you have people that are saying, like, hey, we don't like this. This is a bad thing. And I think about it and I look at it logically, like, okay, how does this actually work? How is this fitting into the gameplay? And is it really fun, or is it something that's just added in for no reason? And I think what ends up happening is that you have a lot of types of content that get added into a game, and it's just put in there, and the developers kind of get you know, they dig in and they're like, this is our position, this is the way we want to make the game. And a lot of times it happens in a way that's very reactionary. It's not something that's, like, about how to make the game better. It's, like, about them trying to preserve, like, this thing that they really want players to do. And so the way that I figure out things that are, like, good or bad is, like, I'm a very lazy guy in a lot of ways. And so because I'm so lazy, I think about what would a lazy person do, and then it gives you a lot of insight. It does, because lazy ass people are the ones that make the metas. They're the ones, like, how can you put in the least amount of effort in a video game and still succeed? And that's going to be the YouTube video that's the most popular, because that's what people want to be able to do. So I think really this is the reason. And like, also, like, I don't have any sort of, like, crazy, like, divine insight into video games, but what I do have is that I have the ability to, like, listen and look at what people are saying and then react to that and respond to it, and then be like, hey, I think they're right about this, and this is accurate and this isn't. And I think that's what the development studio needs a lot more for. A lot more of.
Gotcha. When you said lazy people, I was thinking, I was driving to the gym the other day with my son, and he goes, Dad, why are people homeless? And I go, because they're fucking lazy.
Perfect. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Just no other explanation. Yeah, they're just lazy. And it's like, oh, okay. Yeah, there it is.
No. Yeah. That was one of them, and I told him other situations, like, you know, some people get sick, they fall into drugs, da-da-da-da. But my first honest reaction was, like, they're fucking lazy, because
Bob's fucking lazy, yeah.
I mean, I had a friend, he was running drugs. He was like, man, I'm making 15K a pop, da-da-da-da. And next you know, he goes to jail and he gets out. He goes, all right, I'm gonna do this right. I'm gonna get a job at Home Depot. He got his fucking first check after working 40 hours a week, and it was like, I don't know, like, it was like $600. He goes, you fucking kidding me? He goes,
I'm going back to drugs, yeah.
We're back to drugs, right?
Exactly.
And I was just laughing, and that's why, you know, he went down that road, and now he's doing good. But when you just said lazy people, you know, when you're making a game, you're gonna think about what will a lazy person do when they play this game, and that's gonna be the meta because it's gonna be the easiest way to get it done and be successful at playing the game. And I just never looked at it that way. It's absolutely fucking hilarious, I think.
Yeah, that's the thing is a lot of people like being lazy isn't always a bad thing. It just is bad if you're not doing anything. But like being lazy is also being efficient in a lot of cases. So like for me, like I want to get something done with like as much time or effort as possible. That way, if I do it 50 times or I only have 2 hours, I can get the most out of those 2 hours. And so I think that it's just like a matter of mindset and understanding how players think and how players respond to content is something that I think really good game designers, like the people that made Classic WoW or like the people that made Elden Ring, that's the kind of like really like genius insight that they have, is that they can understand where people are coming from for these different things and try to like video game design. I think especially for MMOs, it is game design, but a lot of it is psychology too. And the best designers, I think, understand the psychology just as well, if not better, than the actual game design itself.
Damn. Okay. All right, before I let you go, thank you so much for giving me your time, man. At least Jump Asman is absolutely amazing. What is two last questions?
Yeah.
One, what is the best transmog that always gets the W when you used to do the transmog?
Great question.
You know, you go to this server, you do transmog competition, you go to this server. What's one that's like, oh, yep, that's what it is. This one wins, guys. I'm sorry.
I hit the wrong melee button because I've been playing Reach.
W. What is it?
If I had to say like anyone that I really like, I would say that any combination that makes Warrior Tier 3 gear look different than it already does, but it's also still really cool would be a winner, because that's pretty much my favorite set in the game.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
which one was the hardest for you to get? Like for me, I've always, you know, I never forget when, you know how when you play the game and then eventually you're at what, burning Battle for Azeroth, I'm just using that for example. You can go back and do the Black Temple and you keep on doing it every single week to hope you get the, you know, Illidan's drop. Which one was it for you that you grinded the most for to get?
If I had to think about that the most, I actually think that it would indeed be Illidan the Word Waves. Because
really?
So, yes. So, and this, all of this happened before I streamed, so nobody even knows about this.
Oh.
But basically, I got the first Word Wave at the very beginning of Wrath of the Lich King, and I got it by looting it to myself without anybody else knowing that was going to happen. And so as karma for that, I then spent like, I was in Wrath of the Lich King, and then I spent the next 2 or 3 years every single week farming for the offhand Word Wave. And I think it took me like 55 attempts of doing it. 55, yeah. And think about back then, you needed a full raid to do Black Temple. So like I had to get a whole raid together, get everybody in there and do that. And at the end, or actually I think like, towards like the middle or end of Cataclysm, an entire expansion later of farming it every single week, I finally got it.
Wow.
And so that was brutal.
So chat, for the viewers, I said chat. For the viewers who don't understand how World of Warcraft works, is that you have a main raid and you go in there and you have, I think it's 20 or 25, or was it?
Well, back then it was 25.
Back then 25. Molten Core was 40 people, right? I think Molten Core was 40. But so you had 25 people and you all have your own jobs, and you get one drop once a week. And then you have to wait the next Tuesday for it to reset. Then you go do the dungeon again. So he had to wait 55 weeks for the offhand to drop because it's bad karma. And I'm assuming when you looted to yourself, you were kind of the, what's it called? The guild, not the guild leader. You were the party leader and you get to dictate because everybody rolls for it.
I was
and then
the master looter.
You were the master looter. So nobody knew that it dropped, and Asman just slid right into his little satchel.
I was like, guys, I'm gonna need this just real quick. Like, and then one guy was mad. I'm like, don't worry about it, man. It's gonna be okay. You know, it is what it is. And so that was an old game, right? That's the old me. And so I did that, and you know, I had to pay for it with karma, having to spend an entire expansion farming the other one. But I did finally get it.
Yeah. Okay, and then what has been your favorite raid in an expansion?
I think that my favorite raid of all time is Ulduar. I really, really liked Ulduar. And besides Ulduar, Throne of Thunder from Mists of Pandaria was an incredibly good raid. I really enjoyed that a lot. Personally, I also like the first raiding tier of Cataclysm because I just thought like that was again, like WoW, and like looking back on it, there's like always so much like nostalgia that goes into it because I think
never
about,
peak
like,
without
what
shield,
was I
bro.
doing back then? I remember like I had just finished a semester in college.
Never
and,
peak
like,
without
it was,
shield,
like
chat.
Cataclysm came out, and I just joined this new guild, and like all the boys were back together, and so it was like, all right, you know, let's go. And so like I was so excited and so happy about that. So I would say that probably was my those are some of my favorite raid tiers. But if I had to say one, it would be Ulduar.
Gotcha. What about your favorite expansion?
Favorite expansion? I think Classic
Mouse
WoW
got
is the
caught
best
on the
version of
table,
WoW.
bro.
I do, and I don't
Concurrent.
even think it's close. The reason why is like Classic WoW is the only game that's a true like MMO experience more than just like a like right now like you play retail WoW and it's basically everybody sitting in the city waiting to queue into another type of activity. Whereas like in Classic WoW, you have reasons to go out in the world with world buffs. You have reasons to go do different things in the game, and I think that makes a real MMO. And I think that a lot of developers and even Blizzard now struggles with how to make a game that has friction in the game without making it just awful. Because like you want to have friction and you want to have tension and a little bit of like texture to different problems the game has. Like not really problems, but like challenges the game has. But the problem now is that I think a lot of games are focusing too much on trying to overcome those problems rather than giving people the tools to solve them and feel good about solving them.
Gotcha. Well, I think two things on that. I feel like one, you just hit it on a nail when you talked about earlier, lazy, right? Like when you would play, you know, the original Classic WoW, it's like, oh man, I got to run all the way over here to get this mission done, or I have to farm this much copper veins to level up, and then I gotta make it, I gotta do it. But when you did that, you have to put the hour, you have to put the grind in, and you can show off. Like there's some sense of like what's the affirmation that you did that. It's a payoff. Yeah, it's a payoff. For now, it's like you're right. Oh, I got to queue. Like I think there's a plus and a minus. I think the plus to it for a guy like me who has 3 kids and a wife. I sit in the city, I'm gonna do one dungeon real quick, I'm gonna get off. I don't have time to sink 2 to 3 hours in. I'll never forget, I was playing WoW one day. The wife went to work, we used to work at Red Lobster, and I was a lone rogue in Hillsbrad Foothills, and I remember putting 3 hours into the game, and I remember after the 3 hours, I looked at my fucking inventory, my satchel, I got nothing done. I just ran around the foothills for 3 hours, just
Yo, PDX,
like,
what's up, bro?
I wasted my time, but I had a good time.
Blessings to you too.
I enjoyed it. And then I think the second one was when they were these cataclysms.
Hey, what's up, chat? I'm just playing some Halo, watching this podcast. I'm gonna go to the lake in a little bit. I'm gonna go swimming.
The Sunwell, Illidan.
It's gonna be sick.
You know, just that whole Burning Crusade, and you know.
But for those that don't know, this is Mr. Mighty. This guy's a UFC champion. This is Asmongold. He's a World of Warcraft champion, and they have a few things in common. And they just so happen to be acquainted in real life through BlizzCon. So now he's on the Mighty podcast, and I didn't even know Mighty had a podcast. Yeah.
Chris, and then when Deathwing came out of the fucking death hole, I was like, who the fuck is this guy? I didn't hear about him. I'll always hear about Sargeras, the Legion, all those guys. I'm like, what's going on? And that's what kind of like pushed me away from WoW. The Mists of Pandaria, I didn't even play that one. So I was like, we got fucking pandas fighting each other. I was just like, damn it. But yeah, I miss WoW dearly. It's okay though.
Oh man, like yeah, and like Legion though, Legion did have that storyline again. I was really happy. Like that was fucking badass. Whenever like, especially Illidan, just like, it's like disenchanting Gul'dan and just like, yeah, follow me into the abyss.
Oh
like,
yeah,
this is fucking wow. Like yes, dude, this is what I want to see. And even Warlords of Draenor, like this cinematic for that, I think is like one of my favorite cinematics of all time. It's so badass.
Blizzard is probably the king dingaling of cinematics.
It's not even close. They're
like,
so good.
Yeah, it's like, damn.
Alright, chat. Today we're reacting to the Warlords of Draenor cinematic by World of Warcraft. Before we get into this Halo match. Stop it. Copyright. Can I even show this? I guess we'll find out, huh? Here it is. Yeah. Oh, really? Okay. This is so different from Dragonflight, bro, in the best way.
Drink, Hellscream. Claim your destiny. You will all be conquerors. And what, Gul'dan, must we give in return? Everything. Reject this gift. And did you bring these mongrels here? Just to watch you die.
Bro, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. Holy, dude, that was epic. That was the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life.
This was not our destiny. Times change. We will never be slaves! But we will be conquerors.
Bro, that was epic. Whoops. Bro, should I just be a React channel? Should I just play, what's it called? That thing. What was the thing called, bro? There was this ad I saw. Oh, whatever. I'll look it up later.
Can we
Yeah.
just play this game? Can we just do cinematic
Yeah.
the whole fucking time?
That's what I thought the Warcraft movie was gonna be. I thought it was just gonna be an hour and a half cinematic, and like I'm like, okay, I'm excited. This is what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rip. Oh man. Okay, Asmon, this is your opportunity to tell people where they can find you, your socials, you know, your YouTube, the Twitch. Where can they find you, man?
Just Google Asmongold, you'll find me. That's it. That's my advice. Yeah. Just
Don't
Google
worry about the
Asmongold,
Wikipedia,
yeah.
boys.
Yeah, don't worry about any of that. You just find me. Just Google any of the results are probably
I'm
gonna
gonna have
be
a
me,
Wikipedia.
whether it's
Yeah.
YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, anything like that. But yeah,
Gotcha.
man, I do appreciate you having me on. I had a good time talking about everything too.
Absolutely, absolutely. One last thing I totally forgot, and then I'll
Yeah.
let you go. How do you feel about the new, where streaming is going, right? What I mean by streaming is like you have Twitch, you have YouTube, you have Kick, you had fucking Mixer, you had Facebook Gaming, and how do you feel, you know, the landscape is for streaming, right? Because some people will say like, you know, Kick is a Twitch killer because they're offering, you know, content creators 90% instead of what Twitch is now at 50-50 or 70-30. You know, YouTube's at 70-30. How do you see the landscape of streaming now? Because you've been streaming for a very, very long time, right? You see guys get exclusive content, exclusive contracts
Yeah,
to YouTube,
big
like
contracts.
Doc, Tim, Shroud, Dr. Lupo, all
Yeah.
these guys.
I can't believe I don't have $20 to multi-stream. Most embarrassing shit I've ever heard. I could be multi-streaming to YouTube, Twitch, Kick, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Dude, I gotta start multi-streaming, bro. The second I have $20, I made it. Real talk. Talk with chat a little bit, see what they want me to play, see what they want me to do. I'm gonna start that multi-stream, bro. Donate to the Patreon if you see this, bro. Got a job interview tomorrow. I need the multi-stream. Everything for the multi-stream. I'm gonna get the multi-stream, and we're never coming back down. Alright, chat, dude. Actually,